Breaking news. A research team found evidence of a massive, never-before-seen creature in the South Pacific.
Scattered across the globe are islands that seem ripped straight from a storybook or a nightmare. These aren't just pieces of land surrounded by water. They're hotspots for unsolved mysteries, strange sightings, and unexplained events. Some are said to be cursed, others completely abandoned with no clear reason. But all of them share one thing in common. They raise more questions than answers. Today, we're counting down 15 of the most mysterious islands on Earth. The Ancient Islands, Torres Strait, Australia. Less of an island, more of a string of them, the Torres Strait is a narrow passage that separates the northernmost tip of Australia from the southern shores of Papua New Guinea. This archipelago consists of over 270 islands, although only 17 are inhabited. This is where the Torres Strait Islanders live, an indigenous people with a distinct culture, language, and traditions that differ markedly from those of mainland Aboriginal Australians. What adds to the mystery of this place is its past, complete with the stories of warfare among the island communities with neighboring regions. But the really interesting part of these islands are their tales. The islands have a storied history of seafaring where skilled navigators once used the stars, winds, and sea currents to help travel across vast distances. This deep connection with the sea is embedded in local lore and includes stories of sea spirits and mythical creatures. And along with this, one of the greatest mysteries involves the shipwrecks scattered across the seabed, remnants of European explorers who underestimated the strait's treacherous waters. These shipwrecks are not only archaeological treasures, but also hold stories of survival and interactions between the islanders and Europeans. Sadly, the islands are threatened by the rising sea levels caused by climate change, so there's a sense of urgency to preserve both the natural environment and the cultural heritage, along with their legends and lore, and a few wrecked ships thrown in for good measure. The Floating Eye Island, Argentina. Islands come in all shapes and forms, including eyes apparently. Well, it's nestled in the Paraná Delta between the Argentine cities of Campana and Zárate. This is a remarkable, mysterious island known as the Eye. It's located in the Buenos Aires province. It's characterized by its nearly perfect circular shape. The island has a diameter of about 390 feet, and aerial shots of this island show where its name came from. It looks like an eye in the ocean. The island has a surrounding channel which forms a near-perfect circle around it. Now this creates the illusion of a crescent moon when viewed from above. Together, the island and its encircling waterway strikingly resemble an eye, hence its nickname. The mystery of the eye is deepened by its unique behavior. It appears to float and even rotate on its own axis. This motion was first noted by film director Sergio Neuspiller in 2016, who stumbled upon the island while scouting locations for a science fiction movie. He was captivated by it, and he shifted his focus from the planned film to exploring the eye's secrets. Compelled by the island's intriguing characteristics, he, along with Richard Petroni, a hydraulic and civil engineer from New York, embarked on a new adventure. They initiated a crowd-funded documentary to delve deeper into the mysteries of the eye, instead of proceeding with the original science fiction film. This documentary aimed to uncover the scientific and mystical aspects of it, and the eye caught a whole lot of eyes worldwide. The island has since been widely studied, and it still remains one of the most mysterious-looking islands in the world. Wildcat Island, Iriomote, Japan. There are quite a few legendary creatures out there, but with a hard line between believers and non-believers. The Loch Ness Monster, the Kraken, Bigfoot. You're probably already familiar with those names. But how about an Iriomote wildcat? Apparently, it stalks and hunts its way through Iriomote Island. But unlike some sort of mythical counterpart, this animal is real, albeit highly elusive. Iriomote Island is part of the Yaeyama Islands in the most southwestern parts of Japan, and they form a group within the larger Okinawa prefecture. Located closer to Taiwan than the Japanese mainland, these remote islands are a mosaic of large tropical forests, coral reefs, and rich cultural heritage. They embody a blend of traditional Ryukyuan, Japanese, and Taiwanese influences, all of which adds to their allure. But what makes the islands particularly mysterious is their deep-rooted history and folklore. Among the islands, Ishigaki, Iriomote, and Taketomi are the most well-known, with Iriomote being the most famous. It's almost entirely covered by dense jungle and mangroves, and it's known for its rare and elusive wildcat. This animal is said to be so secretive it was only discovered in 1965. This almost mythical creature is often the center of local legends, and it's become a symbol of the island's wild and untouched nature. The Yaeyama Islands also serve as a crucial navigational point between Japan, China, and Southeast Asia, so they've got a rich history of pirate tales too. Pirates once frequented the islands in search of treasure or shelter, or perhaps the wildcat. Well, in any case, the island remains mysterious, as does its featured feline. The isolated Bouvet Island in the South Atlantic. If you're looking for a really remote, completely isolated, mysterious island, then Bouvet Island has got you covered. This island is a stark and mysterious landmass. The island is one of the most isolated islands in the world. It's located smack dab in the remote waters of the South Atlantic Ocean. This island is an uninhabited sub-Antarctic volcano island known primarily for its inhospitable terrain and intriguing unsolved mysteries. Bouvet Island is a dependency of Norway, sitting over 1,000 miles away from the nearest inhabited island. Its nearest neighbor, which is Antarctica, lies over 1,100 miles to the south. The island is mostly covered by a thick sheet of ice, with steep ice-filled cliffs surrounding the coast, and it's covered in fog more often than not. These harsh geographical features contribute to not only its isolation, but also the air of mystery that surrounds it. One of the most baffling enigmas associated with this island, though, is the discovery of an abandoned lifeboat in a small lagoon surrounded by ice in 1964. An expedition stumbled across this small boat, oars, and supplies, but they found no trace of human presence or distress. There were no records of missing ships or any explanation as to how the lifeboat came to be there. This was extremely bizarre since the island isn't really accessible. A lot of time and energy was spent trying to solve the mystery of this lifeboat, but to this day, there hasn't been any logical explanation. This unsolved mystery has fueled various theories, ranging from secret military operations to shipwreck survivors, yet no conclusive evidence has emerged to explain the presence of the lifeboat in such a remote and inaccessible part of the world. If only the island could talk. Well, in any case, the combination of extreme isolation, challenging weather, and the enduring lifeboat mystery makes Bouvet Island a particularly intriguing subject for mystery enthusiasts and scientists. It symbolizes one of the last truly untouched places on Earth and a piece of the natural world that continues to be defined more by what we don't know than by what we do. Socotra Island, Yemen, the alien island. Alright, let's be blunt. Socotra Island doesn't really look like it belongs on Earth. In fact, the island, which is located off the coast of Yemen, is renowned for its almost extraterrestrial landscape. This island is harsh. Its isolated environment has allowed it to develop some pretty cool plants you won't find anywhere else on the planet. A third of Socotra's plant species are endemic, meaning it only grows there. For this reason, 70% of the island is a protected national park. Most notable among those plants is the dragon's blood tree, one of our favorites here. This tree is famous for its crimson red sap, which is used for a whole whack of things, from medicine to staining wood. And along with these trees, the island also features significant limestone caves and turquoise waters, enhancing its allure. These caves contain ancient inscriptions and are home to the island's only native mammals, bats. Furthermore, there's also speculation that this mystical island might have been the biblical Garden of Eden. With trees that bleed, it gives off an otherworldly feel. This island gives off an unparalleled science fiction vibe. Needless to say, this alien island has been recognized for its exceptional natural and cultural value, and UNESCO declared it a World Heritage Site back in 2008. The untouched North Sentinel Island. It might be hard to believe that there are still some places on Earth that we haven't touched yet, but there are. And it might be even harder to believe that there are some people who have not been influenced by any outside source, but again, there are. Behold North Sentinel Island, the most mysterious island in the world because the people that live there live happily without any influence from the outside world. North Sentinel is located in the Bay of Bengal, and it's part of the Andaman Islands. This small, heavily forested island is home to the Sentinelese tribe, one of the few remaining uncontacted peoples of the world. Their fierce resistance to outside contact has preserved their way of life for thousands of years and made the island one of the most mysterious places on Earth. The Sentinelese have inhabited North Sentinel Island for an estimated 60,000 years, and their complete isolation from the rest of the world has left many aspects of their culture and daily life shrouded in secrecy. The tribe is known to be extremely protective of their territory. They respond with hostility to any attempt at contact, often firing arrows at approaching boats or helicopters. This aggressive defense mechanism has kept their society untouched by modern civilization, leaving researchers and the broader world largely in the dark about their way of life. The geography of North Sentinel Island makes it difficult to approach, further aiding the Sentinelese in their isolation. Dense forest covers most of the island, which also lacks natural harbors, making landing by sea particularly dangerous. The mystery surrounding the island isn't just due to its isolation, but it also stems from the Indian government's decision to cease all attempts at contacting the Sentinelese. This policy of non-interference aims to protect both the tribe from outside diseases and potential exploitation, and outsiders from the tribe's hostile reactions. Clearly, they don't want you around. The waters around the island are patrolled to prevent intruders and protect the sovereignty and safety of the Sentinelese people. This isolation and the veil of mystery it creates captivates the imagination of the world, making North Sentinel Island a symbol of ultimate seclusion and unresolved curiosity.
Prisoner Island, Îles du Salut, French Guiana. An island seems like a good place to hold prisoners. It provides a little chance of escape, and especially an island that's really far from the shoreline and very secluded. However, an island of this nature also provides a lack of prying eyes, and it also is an opportunity that's ripe for mistreatment. Such was the case with the Îles du Salut. The Îles du Salut, or Salvation Islands, are a small archipelago off the coast of French Guiana. They embody a unique blend of breathtaking beauty and dark history, making them a destination shrouded in intrigue. Comprising 3 islands, Royal, Saint-Joseph, and Diable, or the Devil's Island, the archipelago is perhaps best known for its notorious past as part of a French penal colony system. The most infamous of these 3, Devil's Island, was used primarily for political prisoners. Most notably, Captain Alfred Dreyfus was wrongfully convicted of treason in the late 19th century. His harrowing ordeal and subsequent exoneration brought international attention to the harsh conditions here. Those prisoners were not treated well out there on that island. The tales of harsh treatment and their desperate attempts to escape contribute heavily to the island's aura today. The ruins of prison buildings still stand as somber reminders of the island's history. Visitors can explore the crumbling cell blocks, solitary confinement cells, and guard quarters, all of which evoke a vivid sense of the past. The contrast between the island's beauty and its historical use as a penal colony gives the island a strange, foreboding feeling, according to visitors. The isolation of the island also plays a role in their allure. It's located about 5 miles off the coast. The islands are only accessible by boats, and this isolation adds to their overall creepiness, and visitors often wonder what exactly happened on this mysterious island. Moving on to the Basalt Column Island, Penghu, Taiwan. Penghu, an archipelago of about 90 islands and islets located in the Taiwan Strait, is a place where history, natural beauty, and mystique converge.
Known for its crystal-clear waters, windswept beaches, and distinctive basalt rock formations, Penghu is not just a scenic retreat, but also a repository of mysterious legends and historic tales. One of the most compelling aspects of Penghu's mystique is its geological wonder and the dramatic basalt columns. To see them is to witness something that feels otherworldly, as though the very landscape itself had been sculpted by mythical forces. The formations aren't really just eye candy, they're also subject to various local legends. Apparently, they believe that spirits inhabit these rocks, so with that in mind, the island takes on a bit of a haunting quality. The archipelago has seen its fair share of invaders and settlers over the years, and the remnants of old fortresses and temples are scattered across the islands. Naval battles, colonial ambitions, the islands have seen it all. The islands also have another layer of mysterious charm. They've got a rich array of festivals, which blend Taoist, Buddhist, and folk beliefs. The most notable is the Penghu Ocean Fireworks Festival, an event that lights up the spring and summer skies with spectacular fireworks believed by locals to appease the sea gods and bring about safety and prosperity. Despite its beauty and historical depth, Penghu remains somewhat off the beaten path, which only adds to and preserves its mysterious atmosphere.
The Cursed Island in Naples. If you want to own Isola la Gaiola, brace yourselves for a string of bad luck. At least that's what the locals say. It's located within the heart of the Gaiola Underwater Park in the Bay of Naples in Italy. This tiny island, which is actually two islets connected by a narrow bridge, is not only noteworthy for its picturesque setting, but also for the legends and curses associated with it. According to local lore, anyone who owns the island will have misfortune, ranging from financial ruin to untimely deaths. The stories began in the early 19th century and have since included a series of owners who have either been ruined or met mysterious fates. The waters around this island teem with life, offering glimpses of everything from schools of colorful fish to ancient Roman ruins that lie beneath the waves, adding an element of historical intrigue to its beauty. The islets are covered with lush vegetation, and the surrounding waters are crystal clear, reflecting the deep blues and greens of the Mediterranean. There's a bridge that connects the two rocks, and it attracts photographers since the island itself is pretty much Instagram-worthy. So its reputation as a cursed island has not deterred, but rather drawn curious visitors who are eager to see this beautiful but supposedly ill-fated spot, which is fine so long as nobody decides to buy it. The Island of Ghosts, Vanuatu. Mystery Island obviously has its fair share of mystery given its name, and the island is locally known as Inyug. It's a tiny uninhabited island located in the southernmost part of the Vanuatu archipelago. This island is a gem in the South Pacific and a popular stop for cruise ships given its beauty. The island covers an area of just 31 acres, and it's only accessible by boat. It's got no roads, no cars, and no permanent structures, and was once used as a landing strip for Allied forces during World War II. And remnants of that past can still be glimpsed in the form of an abandoned airstrip that runs through the heart of the island. But what makes Mystery Island particularly intriguing are the legends held by the local Anitum people. These people, inhabitants of a nearby island, believe that Mystery Island is inhabited by spirits, so much so that they generally avoid staying overnight. The pristine beaches surrounded by coral reefs make it an ideal spot for snorkeling and swimming, where one can explore the vibrant underwater world. And so far, no one has snorkeled their way into any ghosts, but tourists are free to explore the island and its haunted past. It's time for today's topic. In June 2025, a team of deep-sea researchers deployed an autonomous drone near the uncharted volcanic island of Velunuo in the South Pacific, and what it recorded has left scientists speechless. While mapping hydrothermal vents over 5,000 feet below the surface, the drone's infrared sensors detected movement in the darkness. Moments later, its lights illuminated a massive eel-like creature with luminescent streaks along its body and rows of needle-like teeth unlike any known marine species. The creature displayed erratic yet deliberate motion, circling the drone before retreating into the thermal plume. Marine biologists reviewing the footage noted its physiology resembled a hybrid between a gulper eel and a prehistoric predator such as Tylosaurus.
The research team dubbed it Project Leviathan and immediately classified the data. If proven authentic, this discovery could mark the first encounter with a species surviving in isolation since before recorded human history. The Island of Legends, Con Dao, Vietnam. The islands of Con Dao might look pretty today, but they were once the site of brutal prisons during French colonial rule. Con Dao is a secluded archipelago off the southern coast of Vietnam, and the islands are renowned for their stunning landscapes as well as their haunting history. The main island, Con Son, is the largest and was historically the center of the prison system. The old prison complexes, now preserved as museums, reveal grim tales of the past, including the infamous tiger cages where prisoners were kept. These historical sites are a somber reminder of the human rights abuses that took place on the island, adding a profound depth to their mysterious aura. The islands are part of a national park established to protect the diverse marine life and lush terrestrial ecosystems here. The surrounding waters are home to vibrant coral reefs that rank among Vietnam's best, making it a premier destination for snorkeling and diving. The archipelago is also known for its rich biodiversity, including endemic species such as the Con Dao bow-fingered gecko and the critically endangered dugong, a relative of the manatee. The dense forests of the island serve as an important habitat for numerous birds too, making it a significant birdwatching sanctuary. But despite the island's beauty, for the locals, the island is still about the prisoners. Many locals undertake pilgrimages to the island to pay respects at the Hang Yung Cemetery, where thousands of former prisoners are buried. Thousands of them. This site, especially during the Vietnamese Ghost Festival, when the site is enveloped in an air of reverence and mystery, families come to honor those who lost their lives here on these islands. So, with that stunning natural landscape, there's a wealth of graves reminding us that things aren't always as they seem. The unexplained Easter Island. Easter Island is mysterious because it's home to the famed Easter Bunny. No, I'm just kidding. It's home to some pretty big secrets though. Easter Island, known locally as Rapa Nui, is one of the world's most isolated places, positioned in the southeastern Pacific Ocean. It's famous worldwide primarily for its monumental statues known as moai, created by the early Rapa Nui people. This small triangular island, measuring about 24 kilometers long and 12 kilometers wide, has captivated the imaginations of historians, archaeologists, and travelers. The moai are monolithic statues, with most standing on stone platforms called ahu. There are nearly 900 moai scattered across the island, varying in size from a modest few feet to impressive giants reaching up to 40 feet and weighing over 80 tons. Remarkably, these moai were mostly carved from volcanic tuff found at a single quarry site where partially completed statues and tools still remain, offering a glimpse into their construction. Theories abound on how a pre-industrial society without wheels or large animals managed to move these colossal stone structures. The most widely accepted theories suggest they were either walked upright using ropes or transported on sledges or log rollers. This engineering feat, accomplished with limited resources and manpower, continues to be a subject of both awe and scientific study. Further adding to the island's mystique are the petroglyphs or rock carvings, which depict various anthropomorphic figures and geometric shapes. These are thought to have had religious significance and are often found near the ahu, suggesting they played a role in the island's spiritual life. By the mid-19th century, the island's population had drastically reduced, exacerbating the loss of cultural knowledge about the moai. Today, though, Easter Island is a UNESCO World Heritage Site, drawing thousands of tourists fascinated by its archaeological wonders. The moai do remain as guardians of the island, their backs turned to the land as they face outwards towards the ocean, keeping a watch over the mysteries they've yet to reveal. The Island of Death in Italy. Poveglia Island, nestled unsettlingly between Venice and Lido in the Venetian lagoon, carries with it a heavy and haunting history that echoes the dark periods of human suffering. During the terrifying spread of the bubonic plague, which decimated nearly half of the world's population, the Romans implemented a drastic and ominous strategy to contain the disease. They designated Poveglia as a quarantine colony, isolating the afflicted souls on this isolated landmass. Unique Island, Bay of Hog Islands in Honduras. Not to be confused with the Pig Island in the Bahamas, the Bay of Hog Islands, or Gallos Cochinos in Honduras, is a captivating and mysterious group of islands that offers a blend of natural beauty and mystery. Located off the northern coast of Honduras, this small archipelago consists of 2 main islands and 13 smaller coral cays, and they're enveloped by some of the most pristine marine ecosystems in the Caribbean. The islands are part of the Mesoamerican Barrier Reef, which is the second largest coral reef system in the world. So it's not just a biodiversity hotspot, they're also a center for conservation and ecological research. They're managed by the Honduran Coral Reef Foundation. The islands are largely untouched by commercial development, which has helped preserve their natural state and the traditional way of life of the local Garifuna communities. The Garifuna people, descendants of African, Caribbean, and Arawak peoples, inhabit these islands and are known for their rich heritage. Local lore often includes tales of pirate activities, and there are rumors that hidden treasures are still buried under the white sandy beaches. And along with the rumored buried treasure, the island also has its very own variety of snakes, the endangered pink boa constrictor. So, although the island isn't famous for swine as the name suggests, it does have both possibly buried treasure and pink snakes, which is nice.